Hi, children. We are in the month of Republic Day celebrations. I think this is the time we can learn about our nationalism also. Nationalism in India, how the nationalism in India led. The first World War, Khilafat and non-cooperation movement. In these four steps, easily you can remember the nationalist movement. The different strands within the movement towards the civil disobedience movement, the sense of collective belonging. These are the things which you have to remember, and under this we are going to learn more and more. What happened during the First World War? During the First World War, the imperialistic government led forcible appointments for the military to manage the economy. At the same time, crops are failed, and imperialist government, the British government, is forcing to pay the taxes. These policies of the British imperial government led to the national movement. And first in Champaran, the peasants raised their voice against the imperialist government, and they started satyagraha under the leadership of Gandhiji. After coming from the South Africa, Gandhiji started this satyagraha, and first peasants started the satyagraha in Champaran, Bihar state, and slowly this movement led to the Gujarat Khade, and this also led to the Ahmedabad cotton mills also. Actually, what is satyagraha? Do you have any idea? Okay, I'll tell you. Satyagraha is a mass agitation which is led in a non-violent manner. Which is led in a non-violent manner, and it is believed that when we are going for the truth, when we are fighting for the truth, what is the necessity of the violence? So, in a non-violent, without any physical activity, without any physical enforcement, this satyagraha was led, and it was a great success. When it was going, the satyagraha is in on its string. The imperialist government tried to suppress this satyagraha movement, and it imposed the Rowlatt Act 1919. What is this Rowlatt Act? Rowlatt Act gives the power to the imperial government to imprison these satyagrahis or the revolutionaries without any trial up to 2 years. Up to 2 years they can imprison. So this led anger in this bring anger among all the Indians, and they try to raise their voice against them. The policemen try to suppress this. During that time, General Dyer took the in charge as the commander, and this Jallianwala Bagh incident happened, which is a very brutal thing. Which is a very brutal, and it is a black mark in Indian history. This Jallianwala Bagh is a big ground where some of the satyagrahis they joined, and they met there to discuss the how to lead the movement. And remaining people, some of the people, as it was a Baisakhi day, they were celebrating the Baisakhi, and they don't know about this General Dyer. And when General Dyer came to know that their meetings were going on and celebrations were going on, slowly he entered the Jallianwala background, and he closed all the exits, and he ordered the fire. The British policemen fired very brutally without thinking anything. So many people were died, including the women and children. They were hundreds of the people were died, and they were wounded. They suffered very much. So seeing all these, people got angry, and they tried to revolt against the imperial government. They tried to they tried to fire the government, attack the government officers. Seeing this, Gandhiji called off the satyagraha, because he thought that satyagraha, our people need some more training to control the violence. So in this way, the First World War led to the nationalist movement. This imperialist policies led to the nationalist movement. And what is this Khilafat? That Balkan issue and Caliphas issue, which was happening in the European countries, here in India, Muslims tried to support that. For that purpose, Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali, the brothers, they started one committee, that is Khilafat Committee. And this Khilafat Committee, and they also want to have some discussions with Gandhiji related to this Khilafat Committee. And this Khilafat Committee want to show their oppose their feelings against the Europeans imperial government. And Gandhiji also, when the Shaukat Ali came and they met Gandhiji also in a view that yes, if we both join hands and move this some movement, Swaraj movement hand in hand, it will get good result, good fruit we can get. So they started this Swaraj movement. Khilafat and Swaraj movement were hand in hand. And what is this non-cooperation movement? This non-cooperation movement is, as the name itself is telling, that we should not cooperate with the government. All the Swarajists under the leadership of Gandhiji, they decided not to cooperate with the government. So this was begin with giving out the titles which were given by the government back. The titles were given back, and the foreign goods were boycotted. And the awards were given also, and some of them even they withdraw from the services of the government, like the teachers, police, professors. So many people they came out to fight against the imperial government in a non-violent, peaceful manner. So the next one, different strands within the movement. This different strands within the movement we can learn under two steps. One is in the towns how the movement was there, and in the villages, colonies how the movement was there. So coming to the towns in the movement, the educated middle class people led this movement. What they did, this movement, they boycotted the foreign goods. They picketed the liquor shops. When they are picketing the liquor shops, policemen tried to protest. There was a conflict between the satyagrahis or the Swarajis, the satyagrahis and the policemen. And not only that, they boycotted the foreign goods, they burnt the foreign goods. During that time, it was colonial imperial government used to earn 102 crores of rupees on these foreign clothes. But immediately when this satyagraha we started this non-cooperation movement started, our khadi used to become more. The leaders used to use khadi instead of the foreign goods. All the foreign goods they used to burn, and the income of the imperial government from 102 crore rupees to it was fallen decreased to 52 crore rupees. In this way, this movement was led in the town. When coming to the villages, here this in the villages. Some of the it was led by some of the leaders like Ramachandra Babu, who was fought for the peasants and for the beggars, for the Nayars and for the Dhobis, for all of them, he represented and he tried to fight. And then Jawaharlal Nehru also entered, and he led one movement, that is Aud Kisan Sabha. In this Sabha, he discussed what are the problems faced by the Kisan. And during the same time, in 1920s, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel also started one Sabha for the peasants. It was near the Bardoli. It was a great success, and from there onwards, there started so many branches also. When this was leading here, this Swaraj movement in some of the villages, like in the south side, this all about the north. And coming to the south, in villages, some of them they lead the guerrilla warfare. For example, we can take AP, Andhra Pradesh. In Andhra Pradesh, Gudam village. In that Gudam village, Alluri Sita Ramaraju used to fought against this imperial government in the guerrilla form only. But unfortunately, he was caught and he was executed on 1924. And this Swaraj movement also led in the plantation also. What is plantation? I think you know that is yearly once we will get income like the mango trees we plant, coconut. That form of agriculture is known as plantation. So it was led in the Swaraj movement, also led in the plantation also. This was led by the plantation workers. The plantation workers of Assam Act of 1859. According to the Act of 1859, the workers have no right to go without giving any information. They cannot go anywhere. So they also fought against this one. When the Swaraj movement was on its strings, when it is going on like that, when one violent incident happened, police tried to stop the Swaraj movement people, the Satyagrahis. During that time, there was a conflict between these Satyagrahis and the police. And police, the Satyagrahis, they were very angry and they put the police station on the fire. So again, Gandhiji called off the Satyagraha for the second time also. Uh, for the second time also. And there was discussions and there were meetings before they are going towards the civil disobedience movement, the third step. Some of the leaders like Subhash Chandra Bose, Nehruji, they were against this satyagraha, non-violent way, and they want to go in a radical way. And there were discussions, and at the same time Ambedkar also they came, and he wants separate electoral process so for the so called the Harijans or SCs. So all these discussions, after all these discussions, again all came all had obeyed the Gandhiji, and they said okay, we'll go through what the Gandhiji, our leader, is saying. For this purpose, there was a meeting in the Lahore Congress session was there, and in this Lahore session they finalized for the demand of Purna Swaraj on 26th January 1930. On 26th January 1930, they had taken this decision. Before taking this decision, after the Jallianwala Bagh, imperial government sent one commission under the leadership of Sir John Simon. Sir John Simon in 1928. And why this commission is coming? It want to check the constitution of India and some changes of some, what if they asked to recommend some changes if any necessary for the Indian constitution. But our Congress, how it invited this Simon Commission? It invited the Simon Commission with a slogan, Simon Go Back. Why they invited the Simon Commission in this way? Because when they are coming to India, and for the Indian constitution there was no single Indian. So they invited the Simon Commission in that way, and in that way they were against the Simon Commission, and Lahore session also announced for the Purna Swaraja on January 26th, 1930. So when the freedom struggle was going on like this, again the government tried to suppress. When the imperial government tried to suppress, Gandhiji led one civil disobedience movement. What is the civil disobedience movement? It is a non-cooperation movement only. It was on 11th March, Gandhiji started with 78 volunteers. He marched for 240. This civil disobedience movement is also famously known as Dandi March or the Salt March also. It was led by the Gandhiji, and he started it on 11th March with 78 volunteers. He walked for 240 miles for 24 days, and on 6th April he reached Dandi, and he violated the salt rules and he prepared the salt there. This was against the rules of the imperial government, and at the same time peasants also refused to pay the taxes for this taxes like chowkidari taxes they used to impose. So peasants tried to, peasants also refused to pay the taxes. When all this is happening, imperialist government tried to imprison the leaders, Congress leaders like Nehruji was imprisoned, Abdul Ghaffar Khan was arrested. And when all this is happening, the peasants they were very angry, and they started running throughout the streets and attacking the government officers. And me during that time only, again this you have to remember that Chauri Chaura 1922 incident also. And during this time only Gandhiji was arrested. So Gandhiji was arrested and the movement became very violent. So this is all about the civil disobedience movement. Now the sense of collective belonging. Before learning about the sense of collective belonging, one thing we have to remember that how the participants of Satyagraha, they viewed the nationalist movement. Peasants viewed that because they were forced to pay the taxes, they were against this nationalist movement. They want to participate. And business people like Tata Birla, because the commercial taxes are more and there is a less opportunity for them, they also joined in the nationalist movement. Like this art, everyone they were looking at the nationalist movement in their own way. When the nationalist movement was going on like this, Gandhiji and Shaukat Ali, they moved to the village from all the villages, and they were encouraging the nationalism in the people. And not only this, some of the writers, folk songs, folklores, plays, dramas, this also encouraged the nationalism in our people. So in this way, the nationalism developed, and this the thread of that nationalism bring the sense of collective belonging. And this sense of collective belonging through the cultural programs, through the plays, folk songs, dramas, speeches. And there was when this Swaraj movement and Dandi March, when they were going on, there was a flag, tricolor flag was established. Sorry, tricolor flag was prepared to fight against the Britishers. And our national anthem was national song was prepared written by the Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, Vande Mataram song. During this Swaraj movement only, this also developed oneness. And not only this, Abhinandan Tagore prepared, painted one portrait, one painting of Bharata Mata. The liberty in the country was depicted as Bharata Mata, holding like this cloth and crops, everything. It shows that it notice that learning books are there. On in one hand you can have the books and the crop like this. It is in aesthetic qualities. When we compare to the Germania, as I said, in European Germania, also the Germania liberty was also represented as visualized as women. But there the woman was holding one sword and one shield. But here this is different. These differences you have to remember. And not only this, one more Bharata Mata was also painted. This Bharata Mata painting, it was painted by Abhindranath only again. Bharata Mata with a Trishul, lion and the elephant. In this way, the feeling of oneness, the tricolor flag uh, inspired, the tricolor flag inspired the nationalist feelings, and the representative of liberty as a female and Bharata Mata and Vande Mataram songs. These all inspired and bring oneness, and it created the nationalism. So it developed the nationalism. In this way, the oneness and the collective belonging came in Indians, and they started fighting against the imperial government. In this way, under the leadership of Gandhiji, the Congress, the nationalist movement in India was taken place. I think you understand the lesson, children. If you have any thoughts, please comment, post in the comment box. And thank you, children, for watching. And please subscribe and ask your friends also to subscribe. Thank you. Thank you, children.